Keep doing that often. Doing what? Smiling. You look even more handsome when you smile. Yin approached him even more, their distance now very close, perhaps only about 5 centimeters. Jungkook, do you not have any feelings for me at all? Jungkook, who was smiling before, suddenly his expression changed, becoming more serious, staring intensely at her. Yin started to be brave. She dared to wrap her arms tightly around his body, burying her face in his broad chest. I want us to be like this forever. Jungkook, can't you accept my feelings? Aren't you happy when you're with me? Today is the 8th day. There are still 2 days left, but you're already asking for an answer from me? To be honest, I can't handle 2 more days. If you reject me, it means I can't be close to you anymore. You don't know how much I love you. Fine. Instead of you later committing suicide, I'll accept your love. Are you serious? Yes. Besides, it seems like I'm starting to be interested in you too. Don't worry. Right now you're still interested in me. Later, I will make you love me even more. Jungkook just chuckled at what she said, then he pinched her cheeks affectionately. She hugged him again, but this time he hugged her back. Yin buries her face on his chest, inhaling his scent as usual. You're like a cat, just like Catwoman. His arms still envelop her body, holding her close. I love your perfume scent, and I'm not Catwoman. Catwoman wants to eat raw fish. I don't. It's almost lunchtime. Let's find a place to eat. Okay? Now they were at a seaside restaurant. Jungkook and Yin sat side by side, Jungkook leaning back while reading messages from his basketball group chat. Yin continuously snuggled up to his arm, her head resting on his shoulder as she glanced at the messages displayed on Jungkook's phone screen. Occasionally he responded to them. They were now waiting for their food orders to arrive. Jungkook. Are we officially dating now? Hearing that, Jungkook stopped playing with his phone and his attention was now focused on her, who was clinging to him. Yes. What's up? It's just that today isn't day 10 yet, it's only day 8. I'm afraid that suddenly on day 10 you might give a different answer. But you're the one who wanted the answer today? Yes, I just want to make sure again. I don't want to suddenly think we're dating when we're not. Okay, we're dating now. So about the challenge you gave me, the remaining 2 days don't count anymore? Not anymore, because I've given you the answer today. Okay then, so now you're truly my boyfriend. Yin finally released her embrace from his arm as a waiter approached and began serving food to them. Now they both began to enjoy lunch together as officially dating lovers. After finishing lunch, they returned to stroll along the beach, but this time they opted to sit leisurely under a coconut tree to avoid the intense heat and be shielded from the sun. Yin took out her phone and invited Jungkook to take a photo together, and Jungkook agreed. Don't you want to keep our photo together on your phone? Sure. Take it with my phone. I want you to start realizing and always remember that you have a girlfriend, me. So when you look at your phone, you remember me because there's a photo of me on your phone. Okay, what's the password? Is the screen locked and can't be opened? The password is. Yin smiled faintly, feeling like she had truly won his heart this time. Even Jungkook was willing to give her the screen password, which meant he was granting her permission to check his phone. However, this time Yin tried to restrain herself to appear polite. After all, her intention this time was to open the camera to take a photo together on his phone. Yin also took a selfie using his phone while Jungkook just watched, chuckling softly. So that you'll remember and not forget that you have a girlfriend. Shortly after, Jungkook finally lay down and enjoyed the beach breeze and closed his eyes. Are you sleepy? Yes, let me sleep for 30 minutes, then wake me up, so that when we go home later, I won't be sleepy on the way. Okay, sleep. I'll wake you up later. Yin smirked for a moment, still holding his phone. It seemed that he allowed it. Finally, with great enthusiasm, she began to check the contents of his phone. She checked all the messages in the app, her lips curved into a satisfied smile because apart from messages from herself, there were only messages from his parents, his basketball team group chat, classmate groups and several other groups, and many messages from seeming girls trying to approach him, but none of them were responded to by him. Yin also opened his social media apps and checked the inbox and messages. It turned out that Jungkook had many approaches, but none of them were responded to by him. After that, Yin checked the photo gallery on his phone, which contained only landscape photos and pictures of him with his parents on certain occasions. Yin seemed genuinely content with what she found while exploring his phone this afternoon. She was also pleased to see that there was nothing suspicious or alarming. Her eyes shifted to him, who was sleeping soundly. She smiled and continued to browse through his phone at her leisure. Who wouldn't take advantage of this opportunity and freedom given to her? Of course, Yin made good use of this opportunity. 1 hour later, Jungkook, wake up. She repeatedly tried to wake him by tapping his cheek until he finally woke up and began to open his eyes. It's been an hour. I purposely let you sleep longer because I saw you were so sound asleep. Jungkook finally sat up, leaning against the coconut tree. Alright, let's go home now before it gets too late. Yin nodded and agreed, and finally, they both got ready to head home. Here's your packed lunch, and I also prepared some juice for you. Yeah, alright, I'll head to class now. Jungkook gently caressed her head for a moment before he turned around and walked towards his class. Her cheeks were now flushed. She really didn't expect Jungkook to be so gentle towards her. Once again, the lecturer assigned them a task that required additional reference books. Alright class, this time I will end the class earlier because I have other matters to attend to. After this, you can all go home and don't forget to prepare the assignment I have given you. Yin sighed, planning to head straight to the library after this to complete the assignment given by the lecturer. It's been about 10 minutes since Yin searched for the reference books she needed to complete her assignment, but it seemed she couldn't find them in the library. Finally, she glanced at her watch. There were about 15 minutes left until Jungkook's class ended. She took out her phone and sent a message to him. Jungkook, are you busy after class today? I plan to visit the bookstore again. There's an assignment from the lecturer that requires additional reference books. Can you accompany me? Okay, I'll accompany you. Alright then, after your class finishes, come to the library. I'll wait for you here. My class ended earlier today. Okay. Yin sat in a chair, reading some books to pass the time while waiting for Jungkook to arrive. Suddenly, hey, alone? Yeah. It seems like our assignment for tomorrow requires a lot of reference books. Have you found them? Not yet. Coincidentally, I haven't found them either. It seems the library doesn't have the books we need. Are you planning to look for them elsewhere? Yes, that's the plan. That's perfect. Would you like to search for them together? Actually, I already have plans with. Before Yin could finish her sentence, she felt someone embrace her shoulders from behind. Sorry for making you wait so long, baby. Without turning around, Yin could guess that it was Jungkook, but she was surprised because Jungkook's presence felt sudden, and he immediately embraced her. Could it be because she was too focused on chatting with Kai earlier, so she didn't notice his arrival? And what did Jungkook say to her earlier? Baby? Oh, you're here already? I didn't know you had arrived. Yeah, I just got here. He answered her question, but his gaze was sharp towards Kai. Yin noticed his gaze and seemed to understand the current situation, so she didn't want to linger in the library any longer. Okay, Kai, I think I have to go now. See you tomorrow. Yin immediately took Jungkook's hand and led him out of the library without waiting for a response from Kai, her classmate. As they walked towards the parking lot, Yin observed him, who seemed colder than usual. Her hand was holding his hand and he didn't reject it at all, but from his body language, he seemed colder and somewhat annoyed. Yin seemed to know the reason, probably because of what happened earlier at the library. Actually, Yin wanted to talk to Jungkook now, but it seemed like the timing and place weren't right. Well, she would explain it later once they were in the car. That's what was on her mind. Now they were both inside the car. Jungkook started the engine and turned on the air conditioner. Jungkook, the guy earlier, he's a classmate of mine. His name is Kai. We chatted briefly and then you arrived. Jungkook didn't respond. His eyes looked sharp, his jaw clenched, holding back something. Yin understood their current situation well. Before Jungkook started driving, she gently held his hand. Don't start the car yet. I don't want us to be on the road and feeling uneasy like this. Jungkook remained silent, but now he seemed more relaxed, leaning his back against the seat. His eyes still stared straight ahead, waiting for what Yin would say next. Jungkook, please don't stay silent like this. Say something. What am I supposed to say? Shouldn't you be the one explaining it to me? But I just explained it to you earlier. He's nobody, just a classmate. We just happened to meet at the library. Yeah, but why were you two acting so close? And you seemed quite friendly with him? Are you close friends? I talked to him briefly, maybe just for 1 or 2 minutes before you came. Jungkook stayed silent, but his face still looked annoyed. Yin had explained it to him, and she knew there was nothing between them. He knew how she had been pursuing him all this time, but still, he didn't like seeing her alone with another guy like that. Hey, don't keep frowning like that. Her hand now gently patted one side of his cheek. After a few seconds, his hand reached out to hold her hand that was softly patting his cheek. He turned his head to look at her, who was now smiling at him. I don't like seeing you alone with other guys like that. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Jungkook shifted his gaze back to the front and leaned his head back. Yin had apologized and promised not to do it again, but for some reason, he still wasn't satisfied, feeling a lingering sense of annoyance. He closed his eyes, trying to control his thoughts and emotions. He was frustrated with himself for feeling jealous like this. Are you still angry at me? Okay. What should I do to make you not angry anymore? He still held her hand. He also didn't want to feel jealous like this. This feeling really burdened him and ruined his mood. Yin. Kiss me now. Huh? What did you say? Jungkook turned to look at Yin now, their eyes meeting. Yin couldn't hide her surprise, while Jungkook looked at her calmly and gently. Kiss me now. Yin remained silent. She herself was confused about how to start it. Why Jungkook suddenly asked her like this? Yin clearly had no experience at all. Meanwhile, Jungkook kept staring at her, seeming to wait, but Yin didn't move and remained silent. Finally, he took the initiative. He began to lean closer to her and tilted his head, advancing his face so that their lips now touched. Yin was initially surprised, but then she closed her eyes, trying to enjoy what Jungkook was doing to her now. He kissed her lips gently, but gradually his lip movements became more demanding and deeper. One of his hands now started to move up, touching the side of Yin's head gently, while pulling her to deepen their kiss. Now his tongue tried to enter, and Yin gave him access, their kiss now feeling more intense. The sounds of their kisses began to be heard, along with the soft moans from both of them, adding a hot and romantic atmosphere in their ears. Now Jungkook was forced to stop his kiss on her lips because he knew his girlfriend needed oxygen supply, but he didn't want to stop. He redirected his attention to her neck. While Yin, who had just tried to inhale oxygen, but felt another sensation on her neck, now moaned softly. Jungkook, increasingly tempted, his hand began to move to her sensitive area. He wanted more than this, but suddenly realized that they were in the car and in the campus parking lot. Finally, he stopped his activities and slowly moved away from her, leaning back on the seat. Both of their breaths were heavy now, each of them trying to calm the sensation in their bodies. The sensations they both experienced for the first time just now felt very enjoyable, but had to stop suddenly. I'm sorry, I just wanted to kiss you, but I ended up doing more. Yin was confused about how to respond. She herself was carried away by what Jungkook had just done to her. It's not your fault. I also got carried away with the moment. Okay, let's go now. Are you not angry anymore? How could I still be angry after what we just did? Yin playfully pinched his arm, while Jungkook chuckled softly. Sometime soon, I want to do more than this, so be prepared. Yin again just lightly pinched his arm. Finally, the car began to move, leaving the campus.